Subscribe and like this video, friends. Why? I made a bet with myself. Spend 6 months and way too much money testing every trendy somatic therapy that promises to regulate my nervous system. TRE shaking sessions? Check. A red light panel that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie? Yep. Ice baths that made me question my sanity? Absolutely. Lymphatic drainage massages that cost more than my grocery budget? Unfortunately, yes. Here's the thing. I wanted to believe. I really did. Because who doesn't want a magic button for stress, trauma, and general life overwhelm? But somewhere between lying on my floor trembling like a chihuahua and staring into a $3,000 light panel, I started asking some uncomfortable questions. What if the wellness industry has figured out how to monetize our desperation for feeling better? What if we're paying premium prices for placebo effects wrapped in scientific-sounding language? And most importantly, what does the actual research say about these therapies that everyone swears by? Dr. David Berceli, who developed TRE, based his approach on watching animals in the wild. You know that viral video of the bear shaking after escaping danger? That's supposedly the inspiration. The idea is that humans have suppressed our natural tremoring response, so we're walking around with all this stored trauma in our muscles. Do some specific exercises, activate the shaking, and boom, nervous system reset. Sounds incredible, right? And honestly, some people swear by it. There was this study with East African refugees that showed improvements in trauma symptoms after 8 weeks of TRE. Another case study followed an Australian veteran who saw real improvements in PTSD symptoms. But here's what I learned when I started digging deeper. The research is thin. Really thin. Dr. Harriet Hall, who's known for cutting through wellness BS, put it bluntly. The tremors induced by the exercises are simply a natural response to muscle fatigue. They are an annoying side effect of strenuous exercise and they have no documented benefits. Ouch. But also probably true. What really got me thinking was this line I found in the research. Although there is a lot of anecdotal evidence regarding TRE, larger controlled quantitative and qualitative studies are needed. Translation: we're basically running on hope in small studies here. But let's be real, I still did it for a few weeks. Why? Because sometimes you want to believe in magic even when your brain knows better. Speaking of magic that might not be magical, let's talk about red light therapy. I first heard about it from Andrew Huberman's podcast, where he mentioned studies about specific wavelengths helping with skin and hair. Unlike TRE, NASA actually started researching this for space applications because apparently even astronauts need skincare routines. The marketing promises are wild: anti-aging, cognitive enhancement, mood improvement, muscle recovery, fat loss. Companies are selling panels for thousands of dollars, claiming they'll boost your mitochondria and basically turn you into a superhuman. Joe Rogan has one. Tony Robbins talks about them. It's become this whole biohacking status symbol. But when you dig into the actual research, it's a different story. Most experts say that they don't know yet if red light therapy is effective for all its claimed uses, and that more studies need to be conducted. Most of the studies done on photobiomodulation were carried out in laboratory animals with just a sprinkle of human studies, often uncontrolled case reports that are little more than anecdotes. The McGill Office for Science and Society put it perfectly. Laser therapy is a classic example of premature hype about a futuristic, high-tech, unproven therapy. They point out that it's still unclear exactly how much light actually reaches the brain when applied to the skull, and there's no agreement on what wavelength or power should be used. There's no scientific evidence to support red light therapy use in weight loss, cancer, cellulite removal, or mental health conditions like depression. Yet walk into any wellness center and you'll hear all these claims. Here's the really sketchy part. Some companies are using deceptive marketing of intensity, falsely advertising their measurements with solar power meters that give readings much higher than reality. It's not just misleading, it affects dosing and medical outcomes. I bought a $200 panel on Amazon anyway. Used it for about 3 months. Did I look younger? Honestly, maybe? Hard to say. Did I feel like I was doing something good for myself? Absolutely. But was I just paying for an expensive placebo? Probably. Now, cold plunges. Oh boy. If you're on social media, you've seen them. Half-frozen influencers in ice baths preaching about the life-changing benefits of deliberate cold exposure. Joe Rogan talks about them constantly. Wim Hof, the Iceman, has built an entire empire around cold therapy combined with breathing techniques. The promises are wild: better immune function, increased metabolism, improved mood, enhanced recovery. Tony Robbins has been doing ice baths for years. Laird Hamilton swears by ocean plunges. It's become this whole lifestyle brand where suffering equals optimization. I'll admit it, I got sucked in. Started taking cold showers, even tried a few ice baths at a local wellness center. The immediate feeling afterward is pretty incredible. You feel awake, alive, almost euphoric. But when I looked at the research, things got murky fast. There are some studies showing that cold exposure can reduce inflammation and might help with mood. One study found that people trained in the Wim Hof method had better immune responses when exposed to bacterial fragments. But here's the kicker. Researchers aren't sure if the cold exposure deserves the credit, or if it's the breathing techniques and meditation that come with it. A recent systematic review was pretty damning. The small samples and wide range of protocols have led to mixed results. Another study found that while cold plunges might help with short-term recovery, long-term use right after intense exercise can actually reduce strength and muscle growth. So much for optimization. A new research review found the Wim Hof method lacks sufficient scientific evidence and needs further investigation. But people are still dropping serious money on fancy cold plunge tubs. I've seen them priced higher than cars. The disconnect between the research and the marketing is significant. Before we go further, if you're finding this useful, hit that like button and consider subscribing. I spend way too much time reading research papers so you don't have to, and your support helps me keep doing these deep dives into wellness trends that might be too good to be true. Now here's where things get interesting. Breathwork. Specifically, vagus nerve stimulation through breathing. This is one area where the ancient wisdom might actually deliver on its promises. The vagus nerve is this long, wandering nerve that connects your brain to pretty much everything important in your body. When it's functioning well, you feel calm, focused, resilient. When it's not, you're stuck in fight or flight mode, anxious and scattered. Research shows that breathing at about 6 breaths per minute, slower than normal, can improve vagal tone. Studies have found that people with higher heart rate variability, a measure of vagal function, show lower stress markers, better resilience, and improved cognitive function. This isn't New Age nonsense. The mechanism is well understood. When you breathe slowly, especially with longer exhales, you stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode. It's like hitting a reset button for your nervous system. I've been doing this for about a year now. 5 minutes in the morning, sometimes before bed, box breathing, 4-7-8 breathing, whatever feels right. It's free, it works, and the research backs it up. No expensive courses, no certifications, no equipment needed. But of course, the wellness industry has found ways to complicate it. Breathwork retreats, breath coaches, expensive training programs, all for techniques you can learn from a 5-minute YouTube video. Then there's lymphatic drainage massage. This one's everywhere right now, especially among celebrities. Gwyneth Paltrow swears by it. Miranda Kerr gets them regularly. The promises are always the same: detoxification, immune boosting, reduced bloating, glowing skin. For specific medical conditions, lymphatic drainage actually works. If you've had surgery that affects your lymph nodes, or if you have lymphedema, manual lymphatic drainage can be genuinely helpful. The research supports this. But here's the reality check. If you have a healthy lymphatic system, lymphatic drainage massage isn't likely to benefit you beyond simple relaxation. Based on reviews and meta-analyses, there is no statistically significant merit of manual lymphatic drainage on top of other therapies in reducing lymphedema volume. Despite celebrities claiming that lymphatic drainage massage makes them red carpet ready, there's no evidence that it can help you slim down. Despite this, wellness spas charge $200-400 for sessions, promising to flush toxins and boost immunity. The research doesn't support these claims, but it feels good, and in our stressed-out culture, maybe that's worth something. I tried a few sessions. They were relaxing. Did I feel detoxed? Not really. Did I enjoy the hour of quiet, gentle touch? Absolutely. Sometimes that's enough. Scalp massage treatments have also exploded in popularity. Spas market them as stress-relieving, circulation-boosting, even hair growth-promoting. While a good scalp massage feels amazing and might provide some stress relief, the grandiose health claims are mostly marketing magic. Here's what I learned after diving deep into all this research. Most of these therapies aren't useless, but they're definitely not magical. They exist in this gray zone where some benefits are real, some are placebo, and most are wildly oversold. The uncomfortable truth is that basic self-care, sleep, movement, stress management, connection with other people, remains far more impactful than any trendy therapy. But basic self-care doesn't sell courses or equipment. It doesn't create Instagram moments or build communities around shared transformation stories. What these therapies do provide is something our culture desperately lacks: permission to slow down, pay attention to our bodies, and prioritize our well-being. The ritual of care, even if the specific technique isn't revolutionary, can be genuinely healing. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: money. The global wellness industry is worth over $4.4 trillion. These aren't just feel-good practices, they're products being sold. TRE practitioners charge for sessions and certifications. Red light devices range from hundreds to thousands. Cold plunge tubs cost more than most people's cars. Lymphatic drainage runs $150–300 per session. When there's this much money involved, the incentives become crystal clear. The goal isn't just helping people, it's creating customers. And the best customers are the ones who believe they need regular sessions, expensive equipment, or ongoing support to maintain their health. The placebo effect in wellness is massive. When you invest time, money, and emotional energy into a practice, your brain wants it to work. Add in the ritual, the community, the sense of doing something special for yourself, and you've got perfect conditions for perceived benefit. This doesn't mean people are lying about their experiences. The placebo effect can create real improvements in mood, pain perception, and quality of life. But it doesn't mean the specific therapy is doing what it claims to do. After months of research and experimentation, here's what I found actually has strong evidence: basic breathwork for stress reduction and lymphatic drainage for legitimate medical conditions. What has weak or mixed evidence? TRE for trauma release, cold plunges for immune function, lymphatic drainage for healthy people, and most scalp treatments for health benefits. What's mostly marketing? Red light therapy for most claimed uses, detoxification claims, immune system boosting, anti-aging promises, and transformation through expensive equipment. I still do some of these things. I take cold showers sometimes because they wake me up. I do breath work because it's free and evidence-based. I get the occasional massage because it feels good, not because it detoxifies anything. But I do them with clear eyes about what they can and can't do. I don't expect transformation. I don't see them as medicine. I see them as pleasant additions to a life already grounded in basics. The real somatic self-regulation might be this: learning to trust your own experience over marketing claims, finding sustainable practices that genuinely improve your quality of life, and resisting the urge to turn every moment of self-care into an expensive optimization project. The wellness industry has taken legitimate human needs for stress relief, community, ritual, and care, and turned them into products. Some have value. Many are overpriced solutions to problems that don't require expensive interventions. Your nervous system doesn't need the latest trend. It needs consistency, kindness, and perhaps most importantly, the wisdom to know the difference between healing and hype. Sometimes the most revolutionary act is simply being okay with who you are right now, without the latest wellness trend promising to fix you. Because here's the thing, nobody in the wellness space wants to tell you, you're not broken. You don't need fixing. You're a human being worthy of care, with or without the trending therapy of the moment.